Is it fair? This is a question many people are asking. Is it fair? A lot of angst, a lot of anger about the South African refugees who come over, who are overwhelmingly Afrikaners in the first cohort. 59 people came over, almost half of them children, many under the age of 5. Is it fair? Well, interesting to hear the comments from leftist media and from bum-hurt South Africans, both white and black, whose feelings are hurt that these people came over. And they seem to have very short-term memories about how things actually went. During the first Trump administration, President Trump brought hundreds of thousands of Somalis, Congolese, Afghans, Iraqis, Azerbaijanis, and people from all over the world to this country as refugees. And each year, during his administration, at least 750,000 or more people were naturalized as American citizens. Yet he's painted as an anti-immigration person. He's not anti-immigration. He's anti-illegal immigration. People who violate our sovereignty are not welcome here. Those who follow our rules and laws and mores and accept our norms are welcome here. And they so soon forget the hundreds of thousands of people of color who Trump brought into the country. Why? Because early in his current administration, Trump suspended the refugee program. Why? Because of pervasive, widespread, massive, yes, that's redundant, corruption by the Biden regime, violating U.S. Immigration Nationality Act and our immigration laws by shipping thousands, nay, millions of criminal alien invaders into our country and dumping them into our neighborhoods in places like Harrisburg, Tallahassee, Albany, and of course Springfield, Ohio, undermining the social integrity and the unity of our communities for some political goal that makes no sense to most Americans. So is it fair? Was it fair to destroy American communities by dumping people who refuse to assimilate and adopt our norms and mores into our communities? No, it wasn't. It was morally bankrupt, and it was also illegal and criminal activity. Therefore, Donald Trump suspended the refugee program in January. Was that fair to the people who'd already been processed and were set to come to America? No, it wasn't. It wasn't fair to them. And have they been able to come over yet? I don't know. But was it right, morally, for President Trump to issue an executive order putting South Africans at the front of the queue? Absolutely. Was it legal? Absolutely. What gives him the right? The Immigration Nationality Act of 1980 gives him the right, as well as Congress and the Secretary of State, to make such a designation. And he did. Finally hearing the plight of South Africans suffering. Let's be clear about something. This program was never for Afrikaners, never for farmers, and never for white people. The media lied to you. And all these so-called experts, Afrikaners included, who thought they knew what they're talking about, talking out their backside, lied to you and misled you about this program. From the very beginning, I told you the truth based on what little information is available and my understanding of the law and my experience in the U.S. government and working in foreign embassies, or U.S. embassies abroad. And it turns out I was correct. Now, I could have been wrong. Depends which direction the Trump administration wanted to go with this. But my analysis was spot on. I never misled you. Told you the truth from the very beginning. And what happened on May 12th when the program was formally launched after the first cohort in the proof of concept pilot project actually were about to land in Washington? Well, the program is open to Afrikaners and ethnic minorities in South Africa. Therefore, if you're colored, if you're Indian, and even some black folks who identify as ethnic minorities could potentially qualify to come to America. Yet the media is obsessed with lying to you even to this day, saying it's for farmers. These people aren't farmers. Why did they get to go? They've gamed the system. They've rigged the system. These are sour grapes from people who were caught lying and misleading you with disinformation and misinformation. Politicians and media, particularly in South Africa. And some of your own Afrikaners who are shameful, who betray their own people. And they betray all South Africans. The bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, is this program is not something that I called for. It's not something that I encourage people to take advantage of. But I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the truth about the program and state the facts as they are. You must make a decision for yourself. If you're a South African who looks with disdain on this program, leave the people who apply for it alone. Let them live their lives. You've not walked a mile in their shoes, let alone one step. If you're a person who leaves, don't rubbish the people who stay behind. South Africa is for South Africans. And if people choose to stay behind, which will be the vast majority of people, that is their prerogative and their right. You have no right to criticize them, just as they have no right to criticize those who leave for greener pastures and for safety. Now, I've conducted at this stage 3 different groups of people who were interviewed, 4 interviews. The first one with Thea van Staden when she was still in South Africa. And despite the lies of the British Broadcasting Corporation, they were not the first to interview one of the refugees. I was the first to conduct an interview before they even left the country. And that video was published after they safely landed in America. Rather than jeopardize their safety, I used good journalistic intent and practice and protected their identities until they landed. And then the interview with Thea was released. It's not about clicks. It's not about ad revenue. It's about the truth. And since then, I've interviewed her after she's arrived. And I've also interviewed Jan and Mariki, who are in another location, about their experience. And today conducted a 3rd interview of refugees here in America. This one with Santana Hurley and her mother, Suzanne. The conduct and behavior of the media in South Africa in particular, but the media in general around the world, is atrocious. It is shameful, it is disgusting, it is vile. Leave these people alone. They've harmed you not. None of them have gamed the system. If they have, the U.S. government will discover it and deal with it. And as far as them not being vetted, not only did Donald Trump bring in all these people of color during his time that were vetted, but during the previous administration, Joe Biden brought in over 300,000 unvetted Ukrainians to this country. Last time I checked, Ukrainians are white and Christian. Why no hatred or vitriol or bile directed against Joe Biden for bringing 300,000 unvetted people? Donald Trump brought 59 vetted people here, thoroughly vetted, and you all want to make stories up about it. You're a disgrace to journalism. You're a disgrace to humanity. Knock it off and start reporting the news. If you want to analyze, that's fine, but tell the truth. Your analysis should be based in fact, not something come out of your backside. What say you, South Africa? What say you, world? Is it fair? Well, the only fair question here that someone can ask is it fair for Trump to suspend the program for the whole world and then give priority to South Africans? And I say it is, until the mess that Joe Biden created violating immigration law is sorted out. And hopefully that will be soon for those also wanting to come here from elsewhere. That's my take on it. What say you, world? Cheers.